Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Live Ones. It is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. Round one of the NBA playoffs continues apace. A shocker last night in the Suns game as Devin Booker went down with another of his many hamstring injuries in the third quarter. After Booker went down, the Pelicans put together a huge finish en route to a 125-114 win to even their first-round series at one apiece. Booker looks like he's going to miss Game 3 and Game 4. And simply put, with the series already tied 1-1, it does put the Suns' chances of winning legitimately in jeopardy, which would be a huge deal. He is not the only key piece of that team, but he is an irreplaceable one. We've got the highly anticipated Game 2 of the Nets-Celtics series. The Sixers and Raptors go back to Canada, and the Bulls and Bucks square up for Game 2 tonight. This is appointment television tonight for sure. In NFL news, well, it's official. After a really turbulent offseason of demanding a new contract in line with the massively inflated salaries of star receivers, Deebo Samuel of the 49ers has requested a trade. The Raiders gave Devontae Adams $28.5 million per season, an extension after trading for him. The Miami Dolphins, of course, rewarded Tyreek Hill with a $30 million a year contract a week later. And Buffalo's Stephon Diggs also received a huge contract extension. You know, this is quarterback money these receivers getting, and it's ridiculous. The 49ers can't afford it for sure, not with Garoppolo's contract. So we'll see where he winds up landing. He's not the only holdout. Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown, Commanders number one receiver Terry McLaurin are also holding out for primo money. You know, there's an old saying that which cannot hold will not hold. And I've been saying for ages, a run-centered team with an elite offensive line and linebackers that can play zone coverage would completely dominate the NFL and do it on the cheap. We had a great night last night. We went 4-1. Our only loss was the Suns game. You know, absolutely no one could have foreseen Booker going down like that, so that's forgivable. We're up to 500 for the week after an 0-3 Monday. We're going to try and keep the positive momentum going tonight. We've got NBA playoffs. We've got baseball. Let's get right to it, and we're going to start with the main event tonight, Game 2 of the Nets and the Celtics. Game 1 of this series was an absolute thriller, and while the Nets might not come away with a win in Game 2, they're certainly going to find a way to keep it close again, I think. Kyrie Irving showed that he is the best offensive threat in the series. Certainly should be well rested, I would say, considering the fact that he didn't play half the games of the season. And he should be able to continue making an impact. Adding in the likelihood that Durant really kind of stunk up the joint in Game 1, and he's not going to play that poorly 2 games in a row. He's going to take better control of the ball. The Nets should see their efficiency numbers rise. This line of 3.5 is just way too big. I like the Nets plus 3.5 here in the revenge spot. Out west to the Bucks and the Bulls, in another case of the public massively overreacting to a Game 1, we had the Bulls once again as double-digit underdogs to the Bucks. But what exactly happened in Game 1? The Bucks failed to cover as a 10.5-point favorite at home, even though the Bulls had a historically bad shooting night. I mean, the Bulls forced 21 turnovers. 21. Frankly, they should have stolen that win with how badly the Bucks played. But the Bulls had a historically bad shooting night. Like I said, 32.3% shooting from the floor, 18.9% from beyond the arc. That's very unlikely to happen again, even with how shaky Chicago's been down the stretch. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are still averaging 24-plus points per game, even since the beginning of March, and the Bucks' defense is pedestrian at best, allowing an average of 111 points a game this season. You're going to see some positive regression from the Bulls tonight. Give me the Bulls, plus 10. I think they can cover again. Over to the world of baseball, and we're going to start off at Wrigley Field, where the weather is going to be terrible tonight. Low 40s with wind blowing out to left center and a constant threat of spitting rain. As the kids would say, lousy smarch weather. Hitters hate playing in this kind of weather, and pitchers love it. Pitchers are constantly in motion, staying warm. Hitters alternate between long periods of doing nothing out in the field and sitting in the dugout waiting for their turn at bat. Marcus Stroman's on the mound for the Cubs. He's one of the best ground ball pitchers in baseball with a rate above 57%. Chicago also has just a 3.14 bullpen ERA thus far. This is a much better team than I gave credit for coming into the season. The Rays have only scored more than 3 runs twice in the last 7 games. They're on a little bit of an offensive inconsistency. I like the Cubs to keep their run total nice and low. Give me the Rays team total under 4.5 runs. Over to the Twins and the Royals. In yesterday's win over the Twins, Kansas City went into the 6th inning trailing 3-2 and then took the lead for good on 2 solo home runs by Perez and Hunter Dozier. Perez's home run was the second of his game. Continued a trend of the Twins just not having what it takes to keep control of games late. A large part of this is due to their offense. On the season, Minnesota's batting at 197 so far, with just 40 runs scored through 11 games. That's not good at all. especially when you got that new free agency splash and Carlos Correa, probably the biggest free agency acquisition of the offseason. He started the season batting 184. He's got 1 home run and 2 RBIs in 11 games. But they do get a gift tonight in Daniel Lynch on the mound for the Royals. As a rookie last season, Lynch made 15 starts, went 4-6 with a 5.69 ERA and 1.63 WHIP. He took the loss in his only start this season. He allowed 6 earned runs in 5 innings against the Cardinals on Tuesday. Lynch faced the Twins once last season, and he didn't get a decision in the start. He allowed 4 earned runs in 6 innings. This is a guy who the Twins can get to, absolutely. Chris Paddock is on the mound for the Twins. He's not great, but he is serviceable. I like the Twins here in the first 5. Their offense has got to experience some positive regression sooner or later. There's just too much talent on it. Give me the Twins' first 5 run line at -0.5 run for the plus value at +115. And last but not least, Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Last night was a low-scoring 2-1 Red Sox victory. Tonight will not be. You've got Jose Barrios and Nick Pivetta taking the mound. These are 2 guys with a history of getting knocked around bad by the other team that they're facing tonight. Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, and Matt Chapman have all crushed Pivetta historically. JD Martinez, Travis Shaw, and Alex Verdugo all have great career numbers against Barrios. These 2 starters have a combined ERA of around 20 in their respective starts so far. Both of these offenses have solid slugging talent, particularly the Blue Jays, who are leading the league in home runs. You have a recipe for a lot of runs tonight, so I'm taking the over 9 runs on this game. 5th and final play for the night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at LiveOneSports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Wednesday night, and I will see you next time.